I'm still tired all the time.
Any aches and pains?
Not really.
You're just generally run down?
I suppose so.
You said you felt like you had flu, didn't you? I still think that's what it is. There's a lot of it getting around.
That's not it. Your blood...
It's not glandular fever, is it?
No. The blood tests have come back, and I'm afraid you've tested positive for hepatitis C.
What's that?
It's a virus.
What kind of virus?
It's a blood disease that affects the liver.
In what way?
Well, it varies from case to case. The main problem, it causes inflammation of the liver.
Inflammation? How could she have caught something like that?
Well, that's always difficult to say. It's passed from one person's blood to the other. Somehow, you must have got infected blood into your system.
How?
Well, we can't be certain, but we do know that Lisa hasn't had a blood transfusion.
Well, if it's not that, what are the other ways?
Intravenous drugs use? Tattoos?
Sex? Could it be transmitted through sex?
It's possible, but it's very rare.
You said possible. Declan. She's got a 17-year-old boyfriend. What have you been up to?
Maybe you and I should have a chat.
Maybe.
You want to see her on her own?
Yes.
Why?
Your daughter has the right to privacy, Mr. James. Lisa?
Well, it's up to my dad, really.
No, it's up to you.
Well...
You have been sleeping with Declan, I knew it.
Mr. James, I have to say, it's very unusual and unlikely for the virus to be passed on sexually.
Drugs, then?
Dad!
Now, come on, let's calm down. The most important thing is that we understand what this virus means. Now, you're going to have to see a liver specialist. I'll make an appointment at St. Phil's and they'll do a biopsy.
What's that?
They'll take cells from your liver and analyse them. Then we'll know where we stand.
Am I going to die?
Now, lots of people who have the virus are perfectly all right. Some have mild symptoms like yourself. But it's important that the liver stays healthy.
Yeah, but what if it doesn't?
Well, that's a tough one. If the liver isn't working properly, then you will get ill.
You mean die?
No, if you're sick, there is a very effective drug. But you may not need it at all.
How sick is she going to get?
I meant what I said. Lisa might not get ill at all. Now, you need to steer clear of aspirin and paracetamol. In fact, don't take any other medication without consulting us, not even vitamin pills. And drinking alcohol is not a good idea.
Got a lot to look forward to, haven't I?
Oh, you and I need a serious talk.
No, we don't. I want to see Mum.
How bad is it?
It's not good.
Meaning?
Well, until the biopsy's done, it's difficult to say.
You must have some idea.
Doctors don't like speculating.
Look, all I'm asking is what's the worst that can happen to her?
The worst case scenario, permanent liver damage.
I see. I don't know how I'm going to tell Lisa's mum. I've only been looking after the kid for 3 weeks while Simone's on holiday. Now she's going to come back to her daughter with hepatitis.
Hang on a minute. You said Lisa hadn't been right for months. This is something she could have contracted some time ago.
Could it be this boyfriend?
I really don't think so.
I don't believe this.
Well, I'm as mystified as you.
I'd better go and find Lisa.
When's your wife back?
Sometime today. We're divorced, actually.
Oh, I see. How do you think Lisa's mum will react?
Oh, she's a tough nut, but I don't know. How am I going to explain it? Let me get this straight. It causes liver damage. See, I don't really understand what that means.
Well, what it means...
And the drugs, I mean, are there any side effects? Lisa's mum will want to know everything.
Listen, do you want me to speak to your ex-wife?
She got a number?
It's on Lisa's files. All right, well, listen, I'll call you later. Bye-bye, Lisa.
You don't even know who I am, do you?
I know who you are.
What you did to me. 25 years old. 25 and you didn't even look. Too busy raging things on your mobile phone. What was it? A manicure? Or something really important like getting your hair done? I had to hold him while he died. Have you any idea how that feels?
please.
And you left me this as a constant reminder of everything I've lost. Look at it. Look! Yes. Pretty ugly, isn't it? No! She's not getting away with it this time.
Jenny.
I don't know how you can hold your head up. You should be in prison for what you did.
It changed my life too, you know.
What? Up to your insurance premium.
Jenny, Dr. Mystery will see you now.
I haven't seen her since the day of the accident. Did you see her face? Smug bitch.
Jenny.
She was just the same the day it happened.
What do you mean?
Like the whole thing was a great inconvenience to her.
People react differently in a crisis. I expect she was in a state of shock.
Gabbling away on her mobile phone, not paying a blind bit of notice to the road. She just pulled out in a bloody great big car. Might brake, but the bike couldn't stop in time. I remember him being pulled out my arms and flung across her bonnet before I hit the ground.
Jenny, we've been over and over this. Of course it still hurts. But you've got to stop tormenting yourself like this.
Don't you tell me what I have to do! You have no idea how I feel.
No. I haven't. Remember we talked about looking to the future?
My future. Forget about Mike and concentrate on my new career, teaching women like her how to lose a few extra pounds as they march across an exercise class.
I never said forget about him.
I can't forget about him. All his clothes are still in the wardrobe. My flat's still full of all his stuff. And then there's everything else that reminds me of that day.
Do I have to have these today? Only if you're going on holiday next week. You're still shaken up, aren't you?
No, I'm fine.
How long ago did it happen?
A year. I don't want to discuss it.
Don't you? It must have affected you.
Oh, I'm still alive, aren't I?
Yes.
Still got my job.
Yes.
And I destroyed that poor girl's life.
It was an accident. It wasn't your fault.
Oh, no. No, it was my fault, all right. Do you know, every morning at 10 to 9, I look at my watch. And I remember it all. Sitting, driving my car, the phone went. It was work. I looked down for a second, and when I looked back, they were there in front of me. I didn't see them in time. I slammed on my brakes, and there was that noise. That terrible noise as his body hit. I stepped out of the car and I could smell petrol. And I saw him lying there. And I knew.
Just give me some more sleeping pills.
Jenny, I don't think they're the answer.
So I should stay awake all night instead, should I?
That's not what I mean. There's got to be some other way for you to deal with it.
Listen, I don't even know if I want to deal with it. The trouble with you people is you spend 10 minutes with your patients and you think you have all the answers.
I don't think I've got all the answers.
Just write me a prescription so I can sleep at night. Then I'll be out of your hair.
If that's what I wanted, that's what I'd do. I'm trying to help you. How did you feel when you saw her out there?
Well, angry, of course.
And how do you think she felt?
I don't care about her. I just wanted to let her know how I feel.
Maybe you should.
I'm not interested.
I've been seeing you for months now, and you don't seem to be making any progress. Maybe it was fate that she came into the surgery this morning. if you spoke with her.
It won't make a difference.
I really think it could be helpful. Shall I go and see?
You feeling any better?
Oh, I'm fine, thanks.
Maybe you should think about seeing a counsellor.
I don't think, honestly...
Sorry to interrupt. It's Mrs. Longman, isn't it?
Yes?
Could you spare me a few moments?
What do you want?
This isn't a good time.
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't important.
It's about that girl, isn't it?
Jenny Davison.
Yes.
I was wondering, would you be prepared to speak to her?
What, now?
I really feel that she needs to talk this out with you.
So she can use me as her punch bag?
No, no.
You didn't see her out there.
I heard her. Will you consider it?
What time's Mum getting back? I want to go home.
Lisa, listen to me.
I've got to ring Declan.
Well, that's what I want to talk about.
Don't start on that again.
I wasn't going to, and in fact, I was going to say sorry. I shouldn't have reacted that way. Look, I know at your age you find it difficult to talk to your dad about this sort of thing.
What sort of thing?
Maybe it'd be easier for you if Mum...
What am I meant to talk to Mum about?
Well, you know, growing up and Declan and...
Please, though, give it a rest.
It's not just about the illness.
Well, what is it then?
Oh, Lisa, I'm so worried about you.
There you are.
I couldn't bear it if anything happened.
Dad.
This is ridiculous.
See? No remorse. That's the sort of woman she is.
You don't know anything about me.
I know you killed my fiancé.
This is getting us nowhere.
Jenny, it was an accident.
That she caused?
By accident.
My fiancé died.
I know that.
Mike died.
What was he like?
Sometimes I don't even know anymore. I wish I could remember him like he was. I get glimpses of him, of how we were. Then it starts to fade. And then always I keep coming back to the accident. It's the last image I have of him. I can't get it out of my mind.
I can't either.
So now I've got to feel sorry for you.
It's not a question of you feeling sorry for me. But I didn't just walk away that day and forget all about it.
That's exactly what you did.
No! I've suffered too.
Oh, poor old you.
Jenny, give her a chance.
I've replayed those few seconds 1,000 times. If only...
Oh, yes, if only.
Go on.
I can't think straight anymore. I'm still having nightmares. My husband and I just argue constantly. If he's 10 minutes late home from work, I begin to think that something dreadful's happened to him. I think I'm beginning to lose him. I don't think I'll ever be able to forgive myself. If I hadn't answered that phone...
Yeah, if you hadn't answered that phone.
She made a mistake. With disastrous consequences.
For me.
She has to live with what she's done.
That's just it. I don't know how I can.
Sit down.
Where's Lisa?
She's at her dad's. Now, we've done some tests on her, and I'm afraid they've come back positive for hepatitis C. We've booked an appointment to see a specialist at St. Phil's, and when she's had the biopsy, we'll know more. But there's no need to panic.
So unfair.
I know.
Just one stupid mistake.
Well, what did Declan say?
me again.
Oh, come here. Come here. Well, you heard what Dr. Powers said. She doesn't think that's how you caught it anyway.
He said I must have been sleeping around.
Shh.
I wasn't dead.
Oh, no. Your mum will be here soon. Shh.
I gave blood 6 months ago. So, you found out then? But I never knew I could give it to Lisa.
Sorry, it sounds so inadequate. But I am very sorry.
It wasn't just losing Mike. When I wasn't with him, I was dancing. I lost the one thing I could have buried myself in. Mike and dancing, that was my life. And in one split second,
What can I say? I feel so guilty.
I don't think I can do this. You don't have to tell her no.
Well, there's never going to be a good time, is there? It's not as though I can go in there and pretend.
Do you want me to speak to her?
It's my responsibility. You will come in with me, though, won't you?
Yeah, sure. You ready?
I appreciate what you're trying to do, but I need some time of my own. There's a lot I have to sort out in here.
Of course you have. Do you still want the prescription?
Yes. No. Let me try without them for a few days. But I really do need to go.
Susan, it must have taken a lot of courage to face Jenny.
Do you think it did me good?
I think so.
I hope so.
If you need to see me again.
Okay. Thanks.
I don't know where to start.
Simone, what is this?
Give her a chance.
When I was 18, I had a friend called Alice. We used to party together. She had a boyfriend for a few months who everyone thought was really cool. And we started to mess around with drugs. I took some speed. At first, we just snorted it. And then Alice and her boyfriend started to use needles. And so did I. Just once. I've never used it since.
Mum, what's the point of this story?
Lisa, what your mum's trying to tell you is that she injected drugs. Now, Alice or her boyfriend must have had hepatitis C, and she caught it from them. We think she passed it on to you at birth.
Lisa, I am so sorry.
I don't understand.
I have hepatitis C. I gave it to you.
I don't believe you.
I can hardly believe it myself.
You never told me.
But I never knew I could pass it on to you.
You must have been sick, like I have. Didn't you think then you could have given it to me?
I've never been...
She didn't show any symptoms. Your mum is probably a carrier. Not everyone with the virus gets ill.
No, but I have.
Yes.
So I'm the one with the problem. She doesn't have to worry.
Come on, Lisa, you don't believe that.
Did you know she'd done that? How could you?
It was a long time ago. I was an idiot.
You're right there.
Lisa, don't.
See you, Dad. Trying to blame me.
I'm really sorry, love.
Tell her to go. I'm staying here.
I can't take all this in.
Lisa, you and your mum are in this together. You've got to support each other. You've got a serious illness that needs to be managed very carefully. And unfortunately, there's no magic cure.
I know.
Now, that's not to say there won't be a cure in the future.
Why did she have to do that?
Your mother never meant to harm you. You've got to get that out of your head. And then the two of you can help each other. Now, there's something else. I don't know if you're having sex with your boyfriend or not, and that's up to you, but if you are having sex, you need to make sure you're protected against other things. Do you understand what I mean?
Don't worry. We never had sex. I'm underage. Anyway, he dumped me.
How is she?
Unhappy?
The joke is, I always used to call myself a good mother.
Well, you're going to have to give her time. This is a big blow.
Oh, just one drunken night. Well, I'm certainly paying for it now, aren't I?
Simone, I meet people every day who don't deserve what's happening to them. Like Lisa.
My own daughter. What am I going to do?
Well, you can beat yourself up, but that's not helping anyone. Least of all Lisa.
You heard her. It's hardly as though she's going to have anything to do with me after all of this.
Well, you're a mother. Who else is going to help her?
The truth is, it was all my fault.
I don't understand.
I was late for rehearsal. Mike didn't like taking a bike out on frosty mornings. But it was the third time I'd been late that week, and I begged him to get me there. We had a row. But I got my own way. He shouldn't have even been on the road. I was just trying to make him laugh, to make things up to him. I started fooling around. He could see me in the wing mirrors. He was too busy looking at me to look at the road. There, I've said it. It's the first time I've told anyone.
I'm glad we met today.
Yeah, so am I.
I still can't understand why you didn't let me know as soon as you found out.
I was trying to get a handle on it myself.
I don't know who you've given it to. What about me? I might have it too.
I'm sorry.
Can't believe you're putting me through this.
It always comes back to you in the end, doesn't it, Dad? This morning I was your tearaway daughter who'd slept around and got herself into trouble. Now all you're worried about is whether you've got it. about me? I'm the one that's ill here.
Look, it's hard for all of us.
It's always going to be harder for Dad. It's going to be you and me, Mum.